evening all and welcome back to Falls Creek Flips. Firstly, I want to say thank you to everyone who has watched my first video. All the support has been fantastic. I've really appreciated it. You know, what can I say? This is going to be a fun journey. There's going to be lots of different paths we're going to take along this journey and lots of fun we're going to have together. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about my local area, some of my thrift shops, my op shops, and what I find there. So down here I have a lot of different op shops. A lot of them are normally quite small. We have a lot of small towns and villages around where I live. And so sometimes it's hard to find some stuff, and quite often things are well priced, so quite high priced. I have Lifelines, Vinnies, Anglicare, Salvos, Presbyterian op shops, Red Cross. They just keep on going and going. There's a whole bundle of them. And like I said, some of them are a little bit overpriced. Occasionally I can find something really good. And some of that I'm going to show you. Sometimes there's some failures in what I've purchased. I'm still learning, and it's always important to admit that. But like I said, I want to take you guys along for the journey. So, recently we had a new op shop open in my town. It was a Lifeline op shop, first one in the area, and it's been pretty lackluster, to be honest. Picked up a couple of things. I did pick up a pretty cool vintage Philadelphia Eagles hat that I sold for about $70 after picking it up for $12. So that was nice, but since then it's been a bit dry until last week. I'm always happy to pay up a little bit for something if I know that there's value in it. And for myself, I love American sports. Here's my Chicago Bears hat, Bears down, let's go. But because I love my American sports, I was excited when I walked into my local Lifeline. I'm about to pick up a bag and I'm going to dump it onto my packing bench here behind so that you guys can see, and I'm going to take you through a couple of them. So, I walked in and I think I spent around $180 on hats. I'll take you through some of these pretty quickly. I've got Houston Rockets. Now all of these hats are pretty much going to be either Mitchell & Ness or New Era. They are the main leading brands within the hat game. You've got a couple of others like Majestic, like 46. They're kind of taking their place. But we'll go through these. We've got the Texans, NFL. We've got this nice Brooklyn Nets hat. Here, Jackie Robinson, a classic historical member of the MLB fraternity. Here is a Nike running hat, very lightweight. Got breathable slots, again, good little seller. Another Texans hat, Houston Rockets. We've got a Duke University, so the Blue Devils, great NCAA team. So that's a wonderful pickup. Houston Astros. Here we've got Monster Energy. This is a brand new, as you can see, we've still got the inserts in there, V8 Supercars. Monster Energy, Cam Waters, doing a great run this year. Houston Rockets, another good one. Here's Red Bull Racing Australia, fantastic. Here is a really nice hat. So this is Mitchell & Ness. We've got all sorts of old 80s and 90s logos from different teams. You've got Boston Celtics, Washington Bullets, who are now the Wizards, Charlotte Hornets, the Sixers, the Nets, the Pistons. Really cool. Here's a hat that I failed a little bit on. I got a bit excited and I grabbed it, and it's not a bad pickup, it's just not the greatest. This here is an Arsenal hat, and inside we can see there is no logo. The only tag we've got says 100% cotton. Not a great pickup. Logo's a little bit dodgy on the front, but I'm sure one of my nephews might enjoy that hat. In the meantime, there was also this hat. This beautiful Arsenal. This is 100% legit. We've got a nice Arsenal tag there with all approval. You can see the Arsenal logo running along the inside. That is a good quality find. Here, got Texas Rangers, MLB. Miami Dolphins. Good NFL. We've got Houston Oilers. So the Houston Oilers are no longer in the NFL. They've been taken over by the Texans. So that's a nice little find. And you'll see here is our graphic. This is a beautiful little hat, this one here. So we've got the baby blue with the pink White Sox logo, Chicago White Sox. You can see the stitching, blue and pink. And inside we've got that nice baby blue still. Here's our Philadelphia 76ers. Nice hardwood classic there. Here's a Houston Dynamo. So Major League Soccer is really taking a front foot at the moment in the US sporting market. And the Houston Dynamo are one of the teams. So really interesting to find one of those hats. That's, like I say, that's a new era. So we're pretty happy to find that. Here is a James Harden. This is an Adidas James Harden hat. So quite an interesting hat. Not many of these are on eBay, not easy to be found. And most of them go pretty well. We picked up a couple of beanies as well. Here we have an Arsenal beanie. We've got another Houston Texans. And one of the more interesting pieces we got, Smashing. What an interesting piece. I've never seen anything like this. It's a great one and I'm sure it's going to sell well. The most interesting hat I got has to be this one. We've got some interesting pieces on here. So, first of all, on the front we've got That's All, folks. On the left-hand side we've got kind of one-sided, isn't it? Now, it had me a bit baffled to begin with when I first saw this hat and I almost put it back. But when I turned it around to the rear, all of a sudden I saw the Jumpman logo. Now this is a Nike brand, and you can tell it's Nike by the tag here. But Jumpman is essentially the Michael Jordan brand, and you'll notice inside we have a space theme. That should give away a little bit about this hat. Not only do we have a space theme, we've got a classic Looney Tunes statement here of That's All, folks. And kinda one-sided, isn't it? This hat is a Space Jam themed Jumpman hat. So super stoked to find this. Super stoked to find this hat. And crazy to find so many hats in one spot. The big takeaway I took from this is that I go into these shops almost every single day. I look around, I have a look, and that really is what it comes down to. There's no rhyme or reason as to when something's going to come into an op shop. There's no rhyme or reason when the staff are even going to put it out on the shelves. And sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to the pricing. I mean, there was NRL branded and ARU branded hats there for $15. But all these American ones, $6 a pop. So you've got to take your luck where you can find it. I've been lucky recently. I just sold a pair of Nike Air Jordan 14s. I picked them up in another op shop for $10 because they didn't say on the shoe Nike clearly where the volunteers could see it. And so they just thought it was a bit of a random shoe, a bit of a weird size. It was a bigger size 13. I picked it up for $10 and flipped it for $200. So always be on the lookout. Keep going into these venues. Keep finding what you can. And like I say, just keep flipping, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you can. Be part of this journey as I make my way to financial freedom. Flipping all along the way. And thanks for joining in with Falls Creek Flips.